Your ability to feel other people's pain does not mean that it's your responsibility to fix it. Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today. If you're new, I'm Amanda. Welcome to the channel where we are all about shattering the mental health stigma. If you haven't already, please make sure you make sweet, sweet love to that subscribe button. Give the bell a few kisses so you're not missing any of this content designed to help you with your mental health or help you help someone else. Today I'm going to be reacting to Breaking It Down by I Prevail. Now I've done one other I Prevail reaction here on the channel and it was really intense, really powerful. So I don't know if I'm in for the same kind of experience today, but that's what I've set myself up for. But before we dive into the reaction, do you ever feel like you just don't have enough time to take care of your mental health and learn something new? What if you could do both in just 15 minutes? This video is sponsored by Blinkist and they have the perfect solution. The Blinkist app gives you actionable summaries of over 6,500 nonfiction books and podcasts in just 15 minutes. It's like giving your brain a mini retreat. Why Blinkist? Let me break it down. First, you learn new perspectives that can shift your mindset. Next, you broaden your horizons with thoughts and ideas from some of the world's best thinkers. Imagine excelling in conversations with fresh insights and experiencing those aha moments that can make such a huge difference in your mental well-being. Let me tell you about one book summary that really was a game changer for me, and that's The Parenting Map by Dr. Shefali. I have a 13-year-old son, and I sometimes find myself reacting out of old habits rather than intention. And there are moments where it really prevents me from being the mom that I want to be. Now, I had a lot of people that suggested this book, but right now I'm reading about 100 pages a week just for school, and I'm already in the middle of a leisure book. Blinkist extracted the main points from the parenting map so I could get the tips without having to devote the time to reading the entire book. One of the things that made a significant impact was a part on how recognizing and healing our childhood wounds can actually help us show up as better parents. This shift has already helped me see some of my triggers with my son, and just being aware has already improved our interactions. So join 31 million Blinkist users who are integrating learning into their self-care routines. It's like carrying a wellness library in your pocket. If you're ready to transform your learning and self-care experience, get 40% off Blinkist annual premium and start your 7-day free trial by clicking the link in the description or scanning the QR code. Thank you so much, Blinkist, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get on to the reaction, Breaking It Down by I Prevail.
I think too much. I'm a little bit paranoid. I think I'm breaking. Maybe it's in my blood. Got a pain that I can't avoid. I think I'm breaking down. Hey, every single second, minute, hour, every day. Person in the mirror, they won't let me feel a thing. Keep me focused on my problems. I'm addicted to the pain. Everybody's out to get you. I guess I never noticed how we keep creeping in. My enemy emotion, but I can't sink or swim. I say I'm feeling hopeless. They give me medicine. They give me medicine.
I really like how it brought up medication because while it can be helpful, it's not for everyone. Like myself, I cannot take prescription medication like antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications. They have an adverse reaction with me. So it's not an option for everyone. And even if it is an option for you, it's not a cure-all. It's a skill for the toolbox, but it's not a cure-all. And sometimes it can be passed off as this saving grace that will fix everything, right? And I feel like well-meaning people in our lives can push that, whether a professional or a loved one, when it's a loved one, because they might not know how to deal with our mental health struggles. You could see the dad at first was happy and then his face just dropped. Remember when his happy look reminded me of the movie Smile, which was really creepy, but then it just dropped, and all of a sudden he has this look of disappointment, which can be heartbreaking if you're the person that is interacting with this loved one and you see their disappointment. You just feel the need to shut off more, and he's getting more exhausted already as this is going on. You see that he's just drudging through, getting his morning coffee, trying to cope with all of these intense emotions while being just completely depleted. Now, hating every second can in of itself be soul crushing because it's not a bad day or a bad week. It's all consuming, and it takes persistence to see any light when you fall into that place. And the line about being addicted to the pain, that hit really hard for me because it feels like you're stuck in a cycle, right? Where focusing on your problems and the pain has become the norm. Now, the problem with that is when something becomes normal, we become complacent about it. And a large part of healing is learning to fight back against the shadow, learning to fight back against that darkness that tries to keep us down, that tries to sap our energy, and that tries to destroy our drive, right? And we have to do the work, even when it's telling us that there's no point, even when it's telling us that everyone is against us. Like that growl was the voice in his head telling him that.
I just tell them that I'm fine. Try to hide my demons, but they only multiply. Keep me running from the voices on repeat inside my mind. Everybody fucking hates you. I guess I never noticed how we keep creeping in. My enemy emotion, but I can't sink or swim. I say I'm feeling hopeless, but no one's listening. But no one's listening. But no one's listening.
But it's not true. People are listening, but that voice in your head, again, that growl there was saying everyone hates you. That's the shadow. That's the darkness in your mind that's trying to convince you of this so it can isolate you from everyone, because then it stays relevant. It stays in power. But trying to hide my demons, but they just multiply. It makes me think of all the times I compared my problems to a hydra, because just when you cut off one head, it ends up spawning three, right? And I think the operative words there were hide and run, though, because the worst thing we can do is try to escape our shadow or our demon or our dark passenger or whatever you want to call the darkness. This is often the people that wind up flying into a rage or that wind up having a mental breakdown because they try to suppress, and they might even use vices to distract and numb. But the truth is, this is the uncomfortable truth, you can't silence the pain forever, and it will come out eventually, one way or another. And if you want to heal, it has to come out on your terms, and you have to consciously manage it. Now, I like the visualization here because it's showing us that other people do care. So this is something powerful to watch when you're in that mindset, when you have that voice like he had there that's saying other people don't care about you. You're ignoring all of the evidence that's right in front of you because your shadow will make excuses. You have this negativity bias that it's, well, they're just being nice, or they're just trying to not feel guilty. It will make all of these excuses because you can't just focus on the evidence in front of you that people are trying to check in. And you have to break out of that cycle and connect with people even when you feel like you don't want to. There's times to give yourself space, but you can't completely isolate, because then the only voice you will be hearing is that darkness between your ears. It's true. When you're struggling with symptoms of depression, your thoughts can get hijacked. Your brain can get hijacked. When I was on the ledge, I remember thinking that me ending my life was what was best for my son, for my friends, for anyone that cared about me, because in my brain I was saying they don't really care. They just feel sorry for me. They pity me. I'm this charity case, and they just don't want to deal with the logistics of me dying. It's not because they actually care about me in any meaningful way. Now, I think it's really interesting here how he started taking the medication. That helped. He started connecting with his loved ones. That helped. I like to think that the screen going black as he looked at the TV, I think that that was him turning that news off, so he wasn't sitting there stewing in all of this tragedy, all of this negativity. Because if there's nothing you can do about it, constantly watching content like that, media like that, news like that, it can really start weighing on you and affecting your mental health. He had his bag of groceries, so he's probably eating healthier. He's probably having a healthier lifestyle. So I like that it portrayed those different things to again remind us that medication's okay, lifestyle can be great, connecting with our loved ones and working to override that negativity bias is crucial. So there's all these different components to it, but overthinking and paranoia, like he was talking about, means your mind is always racing and you can't catch a break from that constant worry. And this kind of anxiety can make you feel constantly on edge. It can make you feel exhausted. It can make you feel disoriented, disconnected. It can really break you down. And I think that everyday tasks feel like somebody just asked you to run a strongman with a boulder tied to your leg. And feeling like it's in your blood means that you've accepted it as part of your identity, but that means that you've relinquished the power you have over managing it. And in the end, I think it's him taking his power back by taking the medication, by adjusting his lifestyle, by connecting to his loved ones, by fighting back. And that is the important part. I love all the facets of this song, that it has different sounds throughout it. So it can be very soft, it can be very aggressive when it's his shadow talking and telling him these limiting beliefs, these thoughts. Then it gets aggressive, and then it kind of winds back down. So I really like that, because I think that it reflects the mood that it's trying to portray, that it's this level of just being completely exhausted, then building up the anxiety, and then allowing it to come back down and him come back to stasis. So I really like that. Thank you guys so much. I know that you've been recommending this one for a long time. I'm glad that I could finally get back around to I Prevail. I really liked when I did the other one. So this one wasn't quite as intense, but it still had a pretty powerful message and showing what we can go through, allowing us to see someone else going through the same thing. We can recognize the faults in our own thinking. We can start recognizing, I think that this thought is my shadow. This thought isn't me. This one's my shadow. And once we can be more self-aware, then we can start managing those thoughts better. We can start using different skills to override those thoughts and to reason with the shadow. Because I was saying in the beginning, you can't just ignore it. You can't just push it down. You have to find ways to work with it. You have to build your skill box. You have to build your skill box, and you have to be able to create a life that's conducive for optimal mental health. Thank you guys so much. Make sure that you're sharing your mental health stories here in the comments, good, bad, and crazy. That's how we shadow the mental health stigma, is by talking about it. Thanks again, Blinkist, for sponsoring this video. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon. Mwah.